Hello, thanks for stopping by. My name is Russell, aka Finding Speed on YouTube. I'm back doing track guides, and this season I'm focusing on rookies. So here I am at Tsukuba in the global Mazda MX5. We're in normal race conditions. If you find this track guide useful, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of thing. And hopefully at some point this week, I'll see you out there on the track. Cheers, folks. Okay, folks, here we are at Tsukuba. We're in the MX5. We're in normal race conditions for this week, and we're approaching turn 1. We're braking uphill, so that means we can really lay the brakes down really hard. And you can see here that we started our braking just after this access road on the left. On the far left-hand side of the track, the tarmac changes slightly. There's a harsh line going across there. And just as we get our back wheels on there, that's where we really lay down the brake. And we're starting to turn in towards the middle of the track. Now we're just gently tugging on the wheel. We've got to be very gentle because we're braking at full threshold braking, which means there's no real grip for us to be able to steer as well. So once we're down to first gear and we really do need to blip that throttle, we need to hit that throttle when we change down to first. Otherwise, the grip's going to go completely. You're going to spin the car. So when you click down to first gear, really hit that throttle just for a brief blip. And then we're going to start immediately dropping out of the brake and immediately turning into the inside curb. Now, I mounted the curb here a little bit, which isn't ideal, but it was a good tight line. Using the curbs in first gear in the MX5 when the revs are high can be kind of a little bit dangerous with regard to spinning, but we're okay here. So we're approaching at a slight angle and we're facing towards the inside of the track a bit. And we're going to mount the curb on the right. We don't really want to get any tyres on the grass because we're going to brake really heavily just before the line on the track where the surface changes colour, where there's been replacement tarmac put down. And we're going to brake super hard here. And notice how we're already facing into the inside of the track. Notice how the track drops down. And then there's a camber on the inside. We want to be on the inside for that because that's going to grip up the tyres a lot. That's going to push us down into the track so we can really get good traction. So we want to use that little gravity well there to help propel us around the corner. Again, we're going to change down to first really quickly here. We're going to let out the brake as soon as we've done that gradually, and that's going to really help us rotate the car. So we're down to first, we're coming out of the brake, we're turning the wheel, and the car wants to turn in those conditions. Now look how gently I built up the throttle. Too much throttle too soon there, and you're going to do donuts. So we're coming to the outside of the track here, and there's a sort of milky kind of residue on the outside of the track, on the inside of the white line. When that breaks up a bit, we're going to dab the brake, come off the throttle, and pitch the car in towards the inside curb. Just a little dab for a brief period on the brake, back on the throttle. We don't want to come out too wide here. On the first lap, you're going to find there's very little grip on this bit, so just be easy. Let the car float out wide because we want to come at a relatively straight angle here. And as the green on the outside of the track starts to dissipate, we're going to slam on the brakes, and we're going to treat this very much like a corner, a couple of corners ago, where we pitched to the inside, we went over the brow, we go into this sort of gravity well again, where we can really get some strong traction on the inside of the track. We've just come down to first gear, so that means we're going to start really releasing the brakes. And as we release the brakes, we're turning the wheel gradually, and the car's going to be wanting to turn for us in those conditions. And as soon as we're halfway around the curb, we are safe to floor it, because we've got all that camber on our side, we've got all that grip in the tyres, allowing us to really lay the throttle down. So here we come to the final corner, the toughest corner on the track for my money, because you have to be super feathery with the wheel and the brake here if you don't want to do donuts. So we're coming just to the start of the pit entry here on the right hand side. Just before it, we're going to come out the throttle. We're going to very gently use the brake and the wheel, and we're going to hold a very light brake, and notice how we're dancing with the wheel to try and keep it straight. And we were back on the throttle just as the red and white curbing started, and we built the throttle up very gently so that we didn't run out of track. Now, if you do hit the inside curb there, bear in mind it's going to push you further out on exit, so you might just need to be easier on that throttle so you don't run out of track on exit. So that was our lap of Tsukuba. Not my favourite track by any stretch of the imagination. They do get a lot better. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please do give it a like. Please do drop a comment down below if you've got any questions for me. Don't forget to check out my website, findingspeed.com, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, folks.